What a day.
What a day.
What a day. What a day. What a day.
With Joe Lowry.
Lord, would you look at me, Joe and Baby Cakes? This is WWE superstar Lacey Evans, and I wanted to personally say congratulations for your success on your WhattaDay social media sites. I am aware, Joe, that you are a huge Lacey Evans fan, which, honey, I couldn't blame you, sweetheart. I mean, who can? The sassy Southern Belle herself, the most classy, confident, and sophisticated lady within WWE. And you're a fan, and so is everybody else. Half of the world just don't want to admit it yet. With that being said, Joe, congratulations. Keep going, keep the motivation, and Lord, hey Joe, what a day.
How about that?
Hey everybody, welcome to What a Day with Joe Lowry. I'm your host, Joe Lowry, and happy Wednesday to you all out there. Thank you, Lacey Evans, a.k.a. Macy Estrella. Great to have. That was a great promo a couple of years ago. That was a few years ago, actually, that she sent that over there. So thank you very much for that. Kind of cute. I like to share those things with everybody out there. Hope you had a great Wednesday and you continue it with me and so forth. Thank you all for tuning in live and on the replay. It is Wednesday, and as you know, I like to call it the week's middle finger. Yeah, that's right, folks. It is Hump Day. And, of course, we have the weekend coming up and so forth. St. Patrick's Day. That's a big one. That's coming up this Sunday. Hope everybody celebrates responsibly. I know up in Boston, the big parade, the old Southie parade is going to be taking place. A lot of parades nationwide taking place this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. So have fun with that. And how did we all do with that time change, huh? Still kicking my butt. I don't know. It's weird. I thought I was going to beat it Sunday night, but then we hit a wall, and then we had to get up early on Monday and Tuesday. It's just been kind of crazy. You know, I hope they get away with this. I hope they get rid of this daylight savings time because this is getting old. I'm like done with it by now. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. But nonetheless, you know, I love this new streaming stuff, and some of it's new, some of it's old. But this Pluto TV I discovered recently, actually a few days ago. I kind of knew it was there. I just never really watched it. And gotta love it. I found all my old classic TV shows. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Love Boat, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, Three's Company, all the great classic shows that are on there. They even got ones that were like shown as repeats when I was younger, like Gunsmoke and Big Valley and all that stuff. And it's a great place to go back in time, really. I just wish they would show the old commercials. That'd be kind of neat. But nonetheless, good stuff there. And by the way, Pluto TV is free. All you got to do is just download the app on your smart TV or on your tablet or whatever you use for streaming services. And it's that easy. Pretty good stuff there. And some of it's like restored to like high def. So it's kind of neat. Watched The Love Boat a little while ago, and that was looked different. That is for sure. Okay. Got a big show for you tonight. Lots to cover. Some big announcements coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And let's kick it off right here. So Oscars this past Sunday, I'm sure you all know by now that Oppenheimer was, they took home pretty much all the big ones. They won Best Movie, Best Actor for Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor Robert Downey Jr., as well as Christopher Nolan, Best Director. Good stuff there. Of course, the other big winner was Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers for Best Supporting Actress. Great movie. If you haven't seen that, I strongly suggest to see that one too. And how about Emma Stone taking that home? Best Actress for Poor Things. So that was kind of neat. And just to let you know that this has to be the first year that me and Baby Cakes actually watched a couple of movies that were up for Movie of the Year. For some reason, when these movies come around, it's not that we don't go to the movies or anything like that. It's just we just never see them, or some of them are so obscure that. Nonetheless, The Holdovers, we saw a great movie. That streams on Peacock if you want to see that. Barbie, we saw that with Bubba and CJ when they were in town. That's Joe's son and husband. We saw that on Netflix. Cute flick. And Poor Things, that is currently on Hulu. That's our next checkoff. But we did see Oppenheimer when that came out on Peacock as well. You have to check that out. It's a good movie, historically speaking, about the atomic bomb and so forth. So, yeah, check those out. So we all know by now that John Cena was shown almost pretty much naked on the Academy Awards. And what I didn't realize after reading this is the reason that he did this was to pay homage to the 50th anniversary of the streaker who on April 2nd, 1974, ran across the stage as actor David Niven was presenting an award. Yeah, this is true. The streaker, whose name was Robert Opel, gained access to the event posing as media, which is probably easy to do back then. After Opel ran across the stage in the buff, Niven turned to the crowd. The people were still laughing, and he said, quote unquote, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost bound to happen. But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings?" How about that? Folks, that's cute. Yeah, 50 years ago, the streaker ran across. That is amazing. Some do suggest that the stunt was planned by the producer at the time. So times have changed, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. So here's our weird story of the week. Actually, this came out last week. I meant to cover this, but we're going to go anyways. So tomorrow, a museum in St. Louis will be celebrating a local holiday by asking visitors to wear underwear on their heads. That's right. This is all to hopefully set a Guinness Book of World Records. Now, the City Museum said it hopes to gather at least 314 people on 314 Day, which is actually tomorrow, March 14th. That's also the area code of where they're celebrating this 314. So that's kind of neat. They want everybody to wear underpants or underwear on their heads for the Guinness Book of World Record. The current record of 270 people was set at a Naperville, Illinois bookstore back in 2012 to celebrate the release of the book Captain Underpants. So the museum said underwear, I'm having a tough time with that word, underwear, it will be presumably clean, will be provided to participants around 1:45 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and a Guinness Book of World Records adjudicator will be on the site to verify the account. How about that, huh? Officials said they will only need 271 people to break the record, but they hope for at least 314 in honor of the holiday. The museum is no stranger to the Guinness Book of World Records, by the way. They are home of the largest pencil, the longest seesaw, and the largest tennis racket. So they are no strangers to that. Okay, so moving on. Records. Remember those things? Vinyls? Remember those albums? Kiss album? I remember I had a Kiss Alive too. I had tons of albums growing up as a kid. Well, a report came out a year ago that record sales, yes, the actual vinyl records, surpassed that of CDs. That's right. This is the first time since 1987 this has happened. That year, over 41 million records was sold compared to 33 million CDs from the same year. Now, most people think that this was some type of fluke or a trip down nostalgia way, but numbers today prove otherwise. Albums today, that's right, 2024, continue their upward trend. Sales are up almost 10% compared to last year, and obviously with digital media and streaming leading the way, album sales will never get back to their awesome days of the 70s. What's also interesting is that 7 of the top 10 best-selling entries for the year are new releases rather than like the old catalog albums and so forth. Now, this is basically highlighting how the resurgence is turning into more than just a trip down memory lane. Get this, the number one album sold last year, vinyl album, Taylor Swift's 1989. You can't write this stuff. The Rolling Stones and Lana Del Rey also led the way in vinyl purchases. Also, cassette sales. That's right, they still make cassettes. Are on the rise. Sales are on the rise. I did not know this. They still made them, to be honest with you. Olivia Rodrigo, well, she leads the way on this one, selling over 10 million cassette tapes last year alone. I guess what they say, what is old is new again. How about that, huh, folks? Real quickly, check it in the chat. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. Ja Will, Maria, Baby Cakes, Benny Scholar, I see you all in there. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me check the other side here really quick. And Mona Berry, hey Mona, thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. So, what a crazy weekend in women's NCAA women's basketball. I don't know where to start with this. I got 3 big stories coming out. First off, an unbelievable come-from-behind win over Nebraska gave the Iowa girls women basketball team and Caitlin Clark their 3rd Big Ten championship. A huge congratulations goes out to them as they now claim the number 2 spot going into the NCAA tournament. So that is a huge congratulations to them. And how about this one, folks? I'm sure you've seen this video by now. Let's take another look at it real quick.
Flau'jae Johnson holds on to Malaysia Fulwiley. And then Flau'jae pushes Watkins. That's when Cardoso comes up and pushes Flau'jae down. Somebody jumped over the scorer's table from the stands.
Yeah, just an absolute mayhem. Let me get that graphic out. Just absolute mayhem there. Chaos at the closing minutes of the LSU South Carolina game. As you can see, lots of action took place and so forth. The man who actually jumped out on the court was the brother of Camila Cardoso, 6'8" Camila Cardoso. She was the center that pushed the South Carolina center that pushed the LSU girl down. She eventually got ejected. So did seven different other players. But word came out late yesterday that the NCAA has suspended her for the first game in the NCAA tourney, which kicks off next week. And I do believe Selection Sunday is happening this weekend as well. So this is a weird one here. Let me get this one back up for you. Utah State girls basketball coach. Let me just play this video for you. You guys just got to watch this real quick. This is just, I'm shocked that they didn't let this happen.
And how do you plan to rebuild for next season?
I'm not going to be rebuilding. I just coached my last game at Utah State. I spoke with Diana, and they're going in a different direction, and I respect her decision, and I hope they get a really good coach in. I'm assuming that's going to be the last question. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All. Thank you, Coach.
I guess now you know why the podium was empty. She literally got fired as she was leaving the court. She went into the locker room, addressed the girls. I don't know what was said in the locker room at that time, but then they let her go out and take questions. And the first question, you saw it right there, turned out to be actually the last question. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I don't even know why she would take the podium. If you're fired, you're fired. But that was just a weird circle of events there. This crazy weekend, NCAA girls basketball taking front and center stage over the men this weekend. So unbelievable. So, all right, so I got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence. Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
All right there, bills paid and all that stuff. This one real quick for my Centerville audience this Saturday night. You know what's happening.
All the way from beautiful Las Vegas, it's Divas 3. Coming to Centerville at the Simon Estes Auditorium Saturday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Don't miss these three powerhouse vocalists as they take you on a magical journey performing decades of classic hits. Tickets are $15 at the venue. Doors open at 6:15 p.m. Don't miss Divas 3 coming to the Simon Estes Auditorium Saturday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Friendly reminder that all Centerville Concert Association members and sponsors, including family, admission is free.
All right, folks in Southern Iowa, get ready for that big concert this Saturday. The girls, Divas 3, will be in town. WhattaDay will be there live. Hopefully, we'll get a quick interview with them and so forth. But check it out. Tickets still available. I do believe it's going to be a sellout. Talking with Chris Kessner down there. So that's a good thing for them. All right, so real quick, this past week on Monday Night Raw, a little controversy. It was a ho-hum raw up until The situation between Candice LeRae and Maxine Dupree took place. In case you haven't seen my What a Day Wrestling Minute, yes, it is just 1 minute. Take a look here, and we'll talk about it when we're right back. I'm Joe Lowry, and this is the What a Day Wrestling Minute. Uncomfortable, sick, and just plain no reason for it. These are some of the comments fans and wrestling pundits described Candice LeRae's recent in-ring belittling of Maxine Dupree on Raw. Sure, the women's division in the WWE can use a spark and the occasional heel turn, but to have LeRae confront Dupree in the ring during a tag match with cameras and microphones on just them seems, well, just wrong. In what we usually call real life crossing over into the wrestling world, LeRae interrupted what could have been the sexiest reverse worm, only to remind Dupree she looks stupid, and that the reason people boo you is because you do not belong here. While Maxine looked on and in shock and almost to tears, LeRae said, not only do the fans and the internet hate you, but so does the women's locker room. And then LeRae went for it all, saying it's a good thing your dead brother is not here to see what an embarrassment you have become. A viral and heartless reference to Maxine's late brother Wyatt, who passed away at the tender age of 22. In today's world of pro wrestling, there is a time and a place for this kind of promo. Tragedies often find themselves in storylines, but this seems different. Perhaps because there is no storyline between these two to begin with. Perhaps LeRae went rogue and emotionally blindsided Maxine. Literally. Although this moment will pass, Maxine will continue to improve in the ring and become even more popular, while LeRae will keep searching for a storyline just as she does for that hair color. I'm Joe Lowry, and this has been the What a Day Wrestling Minute. Yeah, the internet was all abuzz Tuesday morning after that. Really quick there, it's not really about the storyline and so forth. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of things. One, there is no storyline between these two. Secondly, Candice LeRae, obviously, I don't know if she went rogue or whatever, but the subject matter, the presentation, the timing of it all was just off. I mean, real life does cross over into the wrestling world, as I mentioned in my What a Day Wrestling Minute. But really, when you think about it, is it really necessary to bring up the dead brother and all that stuff in that scenario? The crowd there didn't hear what she was saying. This is something that could be done as a vignette backstage or somewhere else off-site. So I bet you a lot of fans are probably just looking at Candice LeRae talking to Maxine Dupree, who stormed off in tears. She ended up losing the tag match right after that anyways. But, your thoughts real quick. What do you guys think about that? Do you want that type of storyline? I mean, from what I read, the brother passed away in a tragic car accident just this past December. So it's still kind of new, if you ask me. But this, the only storyline out here that was the fact that Maxine has struggled in the ring. It's all over the internet. She's been botching moves. She's had horrendous house shows and so forth. But I mean, what does the WWE really expect? I mean, she went through the NXT process and all that stuff. She was a NFL cheerleader for years with the Los Angeles Rams. She was a dancer for the Phoenix Suns. Not somebody who was born into the sports entertainment realm, so to speak. No wrestling background whatsoever. No combat experience. So you gotta think to yourself. I mean, to me, watching Raw the other night, actually watching NXT as well, and I'm looking at all these performers coming out, and some of them were okay, some of them were blah, some of them were just plain horrible. I swear to God, it's like the WWE is just throwing whatever they can against the wall, and you know what I'm talking about, SHIT, against the wall and seeing what sticks. And right now, really nothing is sticking, which makes this whole scenario just completely off its game. But nonetheless, Logan Paul is a big exception. I put that note down here. He's a guy that is an athlete, but to make that crossover into sports entertainment / pro wrestling, that's very tough, folks. Pro wrestling is a very, very tough sport. Everyone's like, oh, it's fake and all that stuff. But, as I said, growing up all along, you have to be in more shape to fake those moves to actually do those moves. So, that's a tough one. So, yeah, please share your thoughts. Send me some messages on that and so forth. I got a lot of feedback on Facebook with that regarding that What a Day Wrestling Minute. It's up on the site on Money in the Pharaoh YouTube channel. You can check that out as well. All right, some outside the ring wrestling news to report. Yeah, after 7 years of marriage, Miro and CJ Perry, a.k.a. Lana, as we all knew her in WWE, yeah, they're divorcing. TMZ dropped the bomb on Monday, or Tuesday morning, I think, that the couple actually split last year. That's shocking. After CJ Perry had that infected finger and put all these videos of Miro coming in with flowers and all that stuff. So people were kind of shocked at that. But get this, CJ Perry just took to social media yesterday. She was on X. We all know is Twitter, saying that every time she goes on social media, her mental health is impacted. Interesting. Well, guess what? There's an easy remedy for that. Stay off social media. Anyways, Miro has reportedly gone back to Bulgaria, which I think is shocking, but the AEW star has been off TV for a while due to an injury, and there is no timetable for his return. Okay. Now, in case you heard this story, one of the lawyers for Janelle Grant has disclosed the names of the corporate offices listed in the sex trafficking lawsuit. And here they are, folks. These are corporate offices number 1, 2, 3, and 4, respectively. Ann Callis, the lawyer for Grant, released their names during an interview with somebody this week. But now the names are out there. I don't know what kind of traction this is going to get. Some people knew of the affair. Some people didn't know about the affair. If you ask me, anybody inside that boardroom knew perfectly well. Stephanie McMahon as well. Everybody knew exactly who Janelle Grant was, even though being in those boardrooms for those meetings was severely way over her pay grade. So that's something to ponder. But nonetheless, they have been named. So that cat's out of the bag anyways. More to come on that, I'm sure. All right. Special thank you to my dear friend and mentor, Hall of Fame pro wrestling journalist, Bill Apter. That's right. Bill puts out a weekly newsletter, and I was fortunate enough to be a guest columnist this week. You can check my Facebook page on how to subscribe to that. But lo and behold, I must have woke up at about, 10,000-20,000 people's inboxes this morning. You want to check that out. Bill Apter works for Sportskeeda, and he has his own newsletter that comes out every Wednesday. You can have it emailed right to you. And there I am ranting and raving about Darby Allin and the AEW and their risky moves. Right. Nonetheless. So this one kind of went under the radar a little bit until somebody exposed it. Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, who's not officially named in the sex trafficking lawsuit with Janelle Grant and Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Well, he has returned to WWE.com on the roster page. They took everything down. They pretty much canceled this guy. But all of a sudden, he's back. And they got me to thinking. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to come back for WrestleMania. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Folks, I'm telling you, this is all part of the plan. He is going to be the one. I'm going to go out on a limb in here and say it. I don't know for a fact. I'm just going with my gut. I think he's going to be the one to induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame on the night before on SmackDown, right after that at the award ceremony. So I think that's why Brock Lesnar is back, and that's the reason why he is definitely going to just, put Paul Heyman, they're best friends, 20-year friends, 20-year business partners, all that good stuff. There's no reason why they should not be together for the Hall of Fame. Because, still theoretically, he has not been named in the lawsuit. Everyone's like, oh, it's a UFC heavyweight champion. That's great. That's so fine. We can all assume for right now that it's him, but he hasn't been named. So I think the WWE is slowly figuring that out. But nonetheless, I think he's back on the roster page to induct Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame. All right, folks, coming up next, the big story of the day. That's right. We've been doing some research. You're going to want to stick around for this. Nude bowling has returned. We're in season, folks. You're going to have to check this out. Let's pay some more bills. Be right back.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops. Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J, video games and collectibles.
All right, folks, bills are paid. I promise that is the last break until the end of the show. Nonetheless, I'm seeing the chat here. Good stuff coming in there. Muhammad Ali, yes, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And just announced today, Thunderbolt Patterson. That one came out of nowhere, huh, folks? At least we're getting another wrestler into the Hall of Fame, so that's kind of neat. All right, so let's try to keep our minds and balls out of the gutter on this next story. So here we go. As promised, nude bowling is returning. That's right. I'll just go right down the rundown here. Pittsburgh is set to hold a huge nude bowling event. The name of the event is called Balls Out Bowling Event. Nudity is required. It's going to be happening Sunday, April 28th, 2024 at the Grafton Ingram Lanes right outside of Pittsburgh, PA. It is a private event hosted by the Pittsburgh Area Naturists. That's right. So let's go over some ground rules that I was reading on this. First off, you have to be 18 and over, of course, and no hanky-panky during all this. That's right. Nudity is required with the exception that women can wear bottoms. And the Q&A on the website references the women that can wear bottoms is because if they're menstruating or, on their cycle and so forth, they are allowed to wear bottoms. Anyways, the group sexual activity is not permitted. Nudism does not equal consent, and harassment will not be taken lightly. Violators will be asked to leave, and no video photography is allowed, obviously. Now, participants are asked to bring a towel. The event is open to bowlers of all skill levels, so that's kind of neat. Now, according to their social media pages, the organization does more than hit the lanes. They also do some gatherings, such as naked trivia, naked karaoke, and on some occasions, they dress up for underwear night. So how about that, huh? Okay. According to the ticket agency Eventbrite, they're almost sold out. So this is a happening thing. There's still over a month and a half to go here for this event. So in judging by their website, this is very popular. They actually do this a couple of times a year outside of all their other events. So I was on their website. You can check out their website here, thenaturistpage.wordpress.com. You can follow them on Facebook at pbhnaturist.com. I'm assuming the PBH is short for Pittsburgh, but that's something you want to take a look at. And they have a lot of Q&As on there for people like myself who are new to this type of stuff, who just basically want some information. They have a good frequently asked questions section. I highlighted a couple of things that I thought that, no pun intended, caught my eye on this. So first one is eye contact. Quote unquote, hey, my eyes are up here. It is very rude to stare. And moreover, if you are going to have a conversation with someone, make sure you are talking to them with proper eye contact. If you're going to an event or a beach for a thrill, you might as well buy a magazine and do us all a favor and stay home. Also, it's very rude to be talking about other people's bodies. So avoid it and talk about something safer like food, weather, etc. Okay, that's kind of different. Anyways, second frequently asked question that I wanted to pull up was this one. Body language. It does not take verbal language to be able to know what you are not saying. Body language can sometimes speak louder than words, and you don't want to be the one sitting like with the barn doors wide open. Oh boy. Sit properly and keep your legs together. We all know you have one, whatever that is. I'm sure they're talking about male and female. Nobody wants to see your legs spread open. Well, that's good to know. Here's a cute one. This is for like dining etiquette. No one will pardon your reach. Don't reach, even if you think it's not a reach. Nude or naturist dining requires a greater margin of coordination and control. Without a bra and a well-endowed chest, reaching even just a little may result in your breasts in the marinara sauce. Yeah, I couldn't find a picture for that one. At least one I couldn't show on here. And finally, the one that most people ask about, erections. Yes, they can happen, especially if you are new to nudism. The best way to deal with this is to either turn over on your towel, or if you are at the beach and if you can stay in the water until the situation comes more under control. Oh boy. However, if you do see someone with an obvious erection is purposely drawing attention, tongue tied there, let a lifeguard or authorities know about this. And in most cases, they'll be kicked out and banned from coming back again. But they have a huge amount of frequently asked questions on there. And doing a little more research on this, I'll put the website back up there in case you guys want to see it. The Balls Out Bowling event is held twice a year. There are several nude bowling events of this type throughout the country. I'm not kidding you. This is not the only one. This is the one that's just coming up. You Google this stuff. Naked bowling is a thing. I don't know what it is, why it is, but whatever it is, European nations obviously have nude public dining restaurants, sporting events, all types of gatherings. These are becoming more and more acceptable. I know when I was in the Navy, beaches were topless, things like that. But, you know, I was a kid then. It wasn't full nude. It's just a European thing. But Europeans are more advanced in this nudism stuff. Restaurants, movie theater, you name it. People go to all types of events in the nude. Now, according to their website, they do have information who are inquiring for the first time. So you want to check that out. You did see some of the samples that I did show on there and so forth. But nonetheless, that is the nude bowling. In case you need to know one more time, it is April 28th at the Grafton Ingram Lanes in Pittsburgh. If you want to take a road trip, balls out, naked bowling. They are an Eventbrite. They are almost sold out, so you might want to check that out. But they do this twice a year, and it makes lots of money. There are refreshments served. I think the people working there have to be nude as well. And as now, I don't know about the concession stand. There was no really write-up. The only thing I could find on food and beverage and all that is they don't have a liquor license, but you are allowed to bring your own booze. So you can bring your own adult beverage. They ask you to drink responsibly and so forth, but food is available. So I just, you know, and it's funny, you don't really get pictures because photography is not allowed. You can only really do it in your mind, or, you know, no pun intended, but, you know, you can only think about it in your mind. So I don't know. That's pretty much the nude bowling experience. I came across that story last week. I knew I had to do it. It's a big deal. If there's any follow-up stories, the media is all over this. If you Google, if you go on Facebook, anywhere, you'll see there are tons. NBC, Stephen Colbert, all the late night shows are on it. A lot of the news places are on it. This is a big thing now. It's happening all over the U.S. So maybe coming to a bowling alley near you, naked bowling. Oh, boy. Now we can get our minds all out of the gutter. All right. So we got some stuff coming up. Upcoming shows, Monty and the Pharaoh. Let me get my little banner out of here. So what do we got? Oh, yeah, Mike and Jimmy. This Thursday, they are welcoming, Monty and the Pharaoh welcoming Missy Beefcake. Yeah, I went to high school with her. Did you guys know that? Yep, she'll be live. And guess who's flying all the way up from sunny Florida, I should say Florida. Jimmy Farrell will be live in the studio. You want to check that out. This all goes down at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Then on Friday, Chuck Palumbo, yeah, former WWE superstar. You remember him? Chuck and Billy, the tag team. He's going to be in studio 7 p.m. on Friday. And Saturday at 7 p.m., this ought to be interesting. Robin Christensen Roosevelt. Yes, Andre the Giant's daughter will be the guest Saturday night, 7 o'clock, right here on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel. So you're going to want to check that out. But as always, right before Monty and the Pharaoh, check out the hottest wrestling game show, The 30. You can watch yours truly go up against a panel of wrestling experts as we vie for the 30 championship. It's a good show. You got to check it out. Good wrestling knowledge there. Benny, Playa, ESO, crooked referee, all that stuff. I probably just got points deducted. Phil, everybody, good times there. Dan, the man, the smartest man in the room. We'll be on there tomorrow night. I'm going after the title again. And if that's not enough take for you this Friday night, we got Wrestling Remembered, and we are featuring wrestling's most memorable voices. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I can't wait. Gordon Soley, all those guys. JR, everybody had a great voice. Vince, Pat Patterson, you know, that all kicks off at 7:30 p.m. You can join us on the interactive live chats, just as everybody is doing right now. Ja Will is lighting up the board there with Benny Scala and Baby Cakes, Joe Myers, Monty checked in. Everybody's checking in. You got to love it. Maria Davis. Thank you. Maria's there. Yep. So thank you so much for all that. And by the way, folks, we have a special announcement coming your way. Let me just pull this up. Let me get this thing off there. You can see my ugly mug. There we go. We have a special announcement, folks. You guys ready? This is a new show alert. Check it out.
Hey, Joe. What a day. Woo!
All right, folks, there you go. A new show alert right there. Beginning this Sunday, I'll be hosting the new show, live show called The Ridiculous Recap Show. I thought of that. That's triple R's, right? The show will feature recaps from the week that happened on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, as well as all the big news that happened in pro wrestling. Not all the news, but some of the big stuff that's been happening. You can recap that on Sunday night. So if you're looking to catch up on all the week's events in regards to pro wrestling and what's been happening on the channel, the place to be is right here on the Ridiculous Recap Show, Sunday nights, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central Time. We're going to have there'll be other segments. I've got some good stuff lined up. A few surprise guests as well. So please join me right here in the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel this Sunday at 8 o'clock. And folks, I am just about out of time. That's right. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Nick Davis, he's in the chat. How about that? Yeah. Baby Cakes, Joel McHugh. That's right, Joe. My name is Joe McHugh. How many people have memorized that ring announcer's opening segment for years on WWF Championship Wrestling? Huh? Doctor in attendance, Dr. George Sohadian, timekeeper at the bell. Charlie Daniels, right? Yeah. And then Dr. George Sohadian. Everybody. It was, that was a good time. Good time. And all the referees, Gilberto Roman, oh my God, Dick Kroll, Dick Worley, all them guys. Got to love it. So that is some good stuff there. And of course, I wouldn't be What a Day without this real quick.
Come on! That's what he said.
You got to throw one of those out there, right? You have to do that. I'm telling you. Nonetheless, I want to thank everybody for tuning in live and on the replay. Greatly appreciated. Humbled. Let's go turn on AEW, see if Mercedes Moné shows up. How about that, folks? You guys have a great What a Day Wednesday. I'm Joe Lowry. What a day.